right, good day and welcome to Commerce Today. My name is Darin Newbold and I'm excited to have with me today Natalia Pitra, our expert in HR and employer branding. So excited to have you, Natalia. And what we're going to talk about is really all about the remote work in the e-commerce industry and kind of some tips and ways to manage that distributed team. So welcome, Natalia.
Hey, thanks for having me, Darin. I'm excited and thrilled to be here and obviously to talk about this such an important topic.
Well, let's kick it off right away, and let's kind of first set the stage with basically this shift to remote work. Tell me a little bit about kind of that and what you're seeing and what you have seen.
Well, basically, remote work has opened the door for global talents and flexibility, but it also presents challenges, especially around communication and team cohesion. So, in office collaboration happens more naturally, while remote work requires, let's say, structured tools and clear communication.
And that is so key, and it can be a real challenge, and things can go sideways very quickly. But if you have that structure in place, like you're talking about, that's so important. Well, one of the other things too, we kind of kicked around here before the show was this whole return to office kind of plans, and I know many companies have done that. There's been some success. There's been some non-success in those things. What are you seeing there, Natalia?
Well, basically, we have the main challenges that are maintaining alignment and ensuring clear communication. So, basically, fostering collaboration across different locations and time zones can be tricky. However, using tools like Slack, Zoom, Google Meet, well, there are so many project management softwares can help, but the leadership needs to set clear expectations towards people.
So what have you seen, still kind of on the return to office trend? Have you seen things that really do help from a leadership standpoint, that really make it a difference on how a company approaches people coming back to an office versus basically a fully remote type of scenario?
Well, some companies still believe in-person work that improves collaboration and innovation. The forced return to office is often counterproductive. And what's important, that studies shows that 74% of workers in United States prefers some, let's say, form of remote work, whether fully remote or hybrid. And in my opinion, forcing people back into the office can lead to lower job satisfaction and unfortunately higher turnover. And obviously the recent survey that OwnSlab found that 56% of employees said they would simply quit their jobs if flexible work options are not offered. And additionally, remote workers are 22% happier than those working fully on site. And companies offering remote flexible hours have a 25% lower turnover rate. So that's huge.
That is, and that really says to leaders out there that whether you like it or not, remote work is here to stay, and that it seems that the more successful approach to all of this is having, if necessary, having a hybrid approach where there is some in-office work and in those kind of situations, but yet there's always that flexibility. Would you agree?
Exactly. Forcing a return can damage employer branding, especially in industries like e-commerce, while where flexibility and adaptability is key. Well, employees want to feel trusted and to manage their own time, and that's a big part of what keeps them engaged and loyal to the company.
Well, speaking of that, and you mentioned employer branding for these remote teams. Tell me a little bit more about that and what you're seeing.
Well, employer branding is remote environment. It's all about culture and connection. So it's essential to keep employees engaged through virtual team buildings, activities, and regular communication of company values. So showcasing a strong remote work externally helps attract the right talents.
Where do you see maybe the balance of how often do either teams or even individuals one on one need to meet virtually through Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, whatever uh, tool people use? How often does that need to occur to really keep that culture, to keep the fires burning of that culture of a company?
Well, besides these daily meetings, like we have in Creatuity, like one-to-ones with your managers, the daily coffee chats with your teammates, and obviously the whole company meetings. For instance, like we managed is once a month. I think it's best to take the initiative of creating this space for people when they can integrate. So I think that the best frequency of meeting each other on rather light moments rather than meetings and focusing on projects will be at least once a week when we can just simply chat, have a coffee. Maybe we can order pizza to each house when we have team meetings, the lighter team
Interesting.
meetings. I think that once a week is a key because let's be honest, when people were in offices, they were feeling fed up of co-workers, and even sitting side to side was in the long distance terrible, just for the work and for themselves. So I think that once a week, just simply have a virtual coffee or virtual pizza sharing time, I think is the key to maintain this relationship between coworkers.
I think that's a great idea. And you mentioned the virtual events and having that. I think that really does make a big difference. Well, we've
Yeah,
kind of
because
already
it's
started down.
connecting people. Because how other we can be connected while working from our offices, the private offices like our houses.
Exactly. Well, and even if we were in, I mean, being in the same building, it's often that teams would, hey, where are we going to go? All go for lunch? We'd all grab lunch on a certain day and those kind of things. So the breaking of bread, that can still happen virtually. It works out a little bit differently. And we just kind of talked about this is all about maintaining that cultural remote culture remotely. And those are a lot of great ideas. So maybe kind of taking that to the next level, or the next piece is how do you then support employee well-being through this remote work? Because there's many that have talked about, some people, and I will even speak for myself. I enjoy the interaction. I like being in the office. I'm one of the weirdos, I guess, that still likes to go to
Yeah,
the
you are the
office
only one that in here.
and maybe so. But aside from that, there is something really great when people can gather around, in my opinion, gather around a whiteboard, draw some cool pictures, put some things together, and it really can bring the creative juices and innovative juices together. So, how do you handle overall employee well-being in this remote environment?
Well, companies should promote work-life balance. It's simple as that. And for instance, they can do it through flexible hours, mental health resources, respecting employees' boundaries, and maybe focusing on the hybrid, not the fully remote, but the hybrid. But it has to be said that you have to have the office, like the building, the place, so people can meet. So it maintains, like you said, a meeting, under the next to the whiteboard. So brainstorm and do something together, and still working on projects alone, individually, but spend more time also together to just, boost those ideas. And it's also important to just encourage taking time off to recharge. And obviously we have to prevent burnouts in remote environment, because let's face it, we are always in the same four walls in our homes. So it also can be difficult to just adjust to this new reality that maybe becomes our regular day to day. But to be honest, I'm also sometimes missing office. So that's why I think that hybrid, but not the forced hybrid
Sure.
type of remote work will be very, very efficient.
And I agree. One of the things that I know has kind of become a standard, if you will, in the way people are approaching it is this new term called workcation, where instead of working at home, you can take a little vacation, maybe go to a different area, still work your normal work hours and normal work things, but do it from a beach, if you will, or a great cabin in the woods, or something like that. Have you seen other companies doing that? I know we've done that. I know I've even done it, and
Yeah,
it does
guilty.
it does it does make a difference. So, tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, the thought of workation is just amazing because, to be honest, I can be, for instance, with my grandma who lives in the village 300 kilometers from me, and I just can grab my laptop and just go to her, help her after, finishing work, help her with her farm. So I think that's the amazing work-life balance. I know that people can just take the laptop to somewhere where the internet connection is okay, because that's
That's the
the
key.
deal here. Yeah, exactly. And they can just go to Greece, go to Bali, because it's very high top right now, but go somewhere when they can see the background of the Zoom. It's not the fake one, but it's the true pounds there. So I think that's cool, and I really recommend each company who obviously can have this workation to just include this, not as a benefit, but as a work culture.
I agree. I agree. Well, gosh, this has been fantastic, Natalia. Kind of as we wrap it all together, maybe overall, if you'd take a couple minutes and maybe just tell us your prediction of the future of remote work and e-commerce, and what do you see coming down
Well,
the road?
as I mentioned before, I think that hybrid models are here to stay, period. Just remote work offers flexibility that benefits both employees and employers, and it has to be emphasized. Not only employees benefits from it, but obviously it requires ongoing effort to keep teams connected and aligned with the company goals. And let's not forget about the huge time saver, which is travel to and from the office, because in remote or hybrid work, we are already in the office. So I think that companies that return to a region office-based model may struggle to retain top talents. And that would be a shame, because market is full of beautiful and amazing people who just want to work. And I think we should bow to these people to just have this, healthy relationship between employees and employer.
I agree. I agree, and that is fantastic. Well, Natalia, I always appreciate having the opportunity to chat with you. You're awesome as always, and with that, as always, folks, we appreciate you listening and taking part in our commerce today. We always want you to definitely check us out on YouTube and any channel that you might be looking at or listening to this. And with
Yeah,
that,
remember to like and subscribe.
absolutely like and subscribe, as Natalia said. And with that, you all take care. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.